Just making sure we're here. Dalton's here. Hey, we're all here. Great. Well, welcome everyone to the regular planning commission meeting of September 26, 2023. And today we have Nelson DeLeon, Wilson Pesey, and James Harris on Zoom. And here in the third floor conference room, we have Danny DeCloya, Peter Rye, and myself. I'm Wayne Beeler. I am the chairman. And first on the agenda is to accept the planning commission meeting agenda.
If you just want to make a quick comment about the video. Just just a quick comment regarding the video. We're having technical difficulties in the third floor conference room. And so there won't be any video recording of those in the conference room.
Okay. Okay, with that, do we have a motion to accept today's agenda? Peter, second? Danny? Okay. Question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And opposed? Great. Dan, I see Michelle joined us. So, very good. First on the list, we have the annexation plan for 408 North 9th Street, and I'll turn it over to Jerome for the update.
Okay, we had this plan in last month. I think we were just waiting on the county review. And the applicant has submitted the revised plan as per our recommendations. This is for 3 parcels of land, which are included within 5 per parts. The zoning hearing board had ordered that an annexation plan be completed for this project in order to consolidate those lots and uses. So that's all been resolved. The certificates of ownership and accuracy have been completed, and as I mentioned, the county has reviewed the plan. That's all I have for now.
Yeah. Dan? Do you have any comments?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's hard for me to hear. Just one comment. We asked about the sewer changes. Was there a narrative that described the sewer use of the proposed use, and did it change any from what was previously approved? And I don't think, Go ahead.
I had submitted, do you hear me, Tim?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I had submitted a letter with that. They're just going to have the apartments aren't going to change upstairs, and it's going to be a small retail area with just no public facilities, so there shouldn't be any change.
Okay, you say there was a letter.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that in the file. I'll have to take a look. Jerome, did you see a letter?
Yes, it was submitted.
Okay. Okay, I just.
They're not adding any uses. They're just consolidating the properties as per the order of.
And the number of units stays the same?
It all stays the same.
Okay. Very good. That's the only comment that I had. I'm fine.
Okay, does anyone have anything else to this project? All right, carry it out. You said the county reviewed this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, do I hear a motion to grant conditional preliminary final land approval for 408 North 9th Street annexation plan, subject to the applicant resolving all issues referenced within the review letter by Hawk Valley Associates dated September 18th, 2023. Dan? Okay, second? Can everybody hear me, by the way?
Not as well as usual.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Second on the motion? Question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Very good. Thank you very much, Dan.
Thank you. We'll get plans signed and get it in for the signatures.
Stick around, you're up next.
Okay. All right, and yes, Dan is up next with the final plan review of the Iglesia Pentecostal Movimiento de Fe, the church on Schuylkill Avenue.
Okay.
Jerome had given me a review letter and I had kind of gone over that and addressed most of the issues. So I guess Jerome should say if I succeeded or not.
All right. My office has reviewed this on September 19th, 2023. As Dan had indicated, a lot of this was some cleanup stuff. We did have a number of stormwater management comments and also traffic comments with respects to this plan, and then also some things that we just wanted to have checked or verified. There will be a municipal improvements agreement and a stormwater management maintenance agreement required with this plan. Dan, since this plan was reviewed on September 19th, had recently submitted an updated plan to resolve a number of these comments. What I did was I passed it back to the city, and I'm just making sure that all the city departments are in agreement, which also include Public Works. Public Works has a couple issues that they had brought up before, which I think Dan has resolved with street accessibility internally. And Dan could allude to that a little bit later, as well as the sanitary sewer issues. I think we're fine on stormwater management issues. I've gotten confirmation from Public Works that the landscaping and trees are acceptable. We still need to hear though from let's see, Fire and Rescue, with make sure that the plan has meets site accessibility as well as its fire code requirements, and that should cover everything. But if we do make a motion for approval, it could be subject to the September 19th letter. It's just a few conditions that are left, and as I mentioned, the agreements are probably the biggest thing.
Modules are done for this.
The narrative was done.
Do you have anything, Tim?
Yeah, a couple of things. First of all, the planning module, was there a narrative there, Dan? Did you submit a letter for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
The letter combines what used to be the restaurant on Schuylkill Avenue and the house they're going to remove on Luzerne, and it's no more than what's ever been there. So there should be no increase because they're just using Sunday morning and Wednesday night meetings, and the flows aren't any worse than a single EDU.
Okay. I was looking in the file online here and I just didn't see it. So Jerome, are you in agreement that's in there?
Yes,
narrative?
it's in there, and
Okay.
we just did a rough assessment of it as well. The restaurant use by far outweighed the place of worship use.
Right. Okay, that's good. The only other comment, and I agree with you, we do need a stormwater management agreement with the escrow. The escrow for that would not need to be as much as we've had for some of the other commercials. I would say $1,000. Normally for a commercial, it would be like 5,000, but for this one here, it's just a small infiltration trench, so it would be more like $1,000 that you could use for that, Dan, for that stormwater O&M agreement.
Hey, Tim, take
For the escrow for the agreement.
Yeah, for the O&M. What was that, Jerome?
and take a close look at the when you get the opportunity before we all sign off on it on that MedEd pole that was located with. Yeah, that's still something that Dan has proposed curbing it.
Right. Yeah,
And also,
and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the curbing of it, as long as Med Ed's okay with it. You're in their easement, so I guess you got to make sure they're okay with that. The thing that
Well,
does,
it's our property and we're subject to their easement, but we're not affecting their rights.
as long as you're not affecting their rights, I don't know what the easement does. If the easement allows you to do that, then that's fine. I guess I don't have a problem. And that's really between you and Med Ed. I don't know that that has anything to do with Public Works. It's not in public right of way, so it's not our jurisdiction. So I'm okay with that. I would say I still have a bit of a problem with how you've got the parking arranged, and there's a guy wire there too. You've got the guy wire that's going to be blocking cars to get into that parking space. But again, that's something that you can deal with. It's on private property. It's something you can deal with Med Ed in that parking space. So I'll let you handle that. Otherwise, I don't have a problem with it. I do have a question, and this may get back to Michelle. You used the term the alley expansion. You referred to an expansion of the alley, and it's dedicated. And I'm not sure that has any relevance here. And if it does, if we are dedicating an expansion of the alley, would that require a formal action by council? Right now, we have 15-foot alleys. I think
Well,
we
what-
still have 15-foot alleys. We're just using part of this private property as being an access, part of the driveway, if you will.
Right, and the neighbors and stuff up beyond will have the ability to use it. The church will maintain it.
Right. Yeah, and that's not a problem.
So
but
that's
to-
why I called it an expansion.
Right. Well, but the thing is, if we're changing the configuration of the alley, and if we're dedicating it, it seems to indicate that a formal action by council would be needed. I don't know, Michelle, what you think about that.
Are
I-
the dimensions changing with the use of the word expansion? And Dan mentioned that the church is gonna maintain it. Is there anything recorded? If the city's not gonna maintain it, I don't know if anything has to be recorded from
Yeah,
the
the
city or approved.
Yeah, the city doesn't maintain alleys. It's just not part of our jurisdiction. It's considered quasi-private, I guess. It's owned by the adjoining owners. The city does
I-
not plow or maintain alleys.
I
Okay.
have a note on the plan that the owner of the Zern Street will construct and maintain the expanded and the improved alley up to the end of their property line. And that
Mhm.
the adjoiners to the north have the rights to use it.
Right, and that's fine. I like that note. I just didn't know if the fact that we're talking about alley expansions and dedication, that it would require anything formal.
Yeah, the word dedication's throwing me off. Usually that's when we accept improvement, so that's why my
Yeah.
question was about that. I don't like the term dedication if the city's not gonna accept it.
I don't either.
I-
That's why I'm bringing it
I
up.
can remove that. I can remove dedication. I wanted to use that to show that we were allowing the expanded public use of their property.
Sure, and that's fine. It just that I was a little concerned with dedicated, meaning like Michelle's, that maybe the city has some liability or some responsibility here, which we would not. We would not be going in there and maintaining or plowing or paving or anything like that. That would
Okay,
be,
I'll
as you
rework-
noted, that would be the responsibility of the owner. So, yeah, if you could
I'll
remove the
rework,
word
I'll rework
dedicated.
that note.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
And Tim, if you don't have anything further, if I can ask Dan, do you need me to resend you the sample stormwater management agreement for this project? Or do you just want to fill in the blanks from the prior samples I've sent you?
I think I have the samples.
Okay, if you-
I'll just work with them.
Okay, if you need it again, just send me an email and I'll send it over.
What, for the stormwater agreement and the municipal agreement?
Jerome, is a municipal agreement required?
the cost is really not that much,
Oh.
but it was required for site accessibility, the trees, the landscaping. Let's see what else they had.
Stormwater management.
Yeah, stormwater management. It is a small project.
Mhm.
I don't know that we ever finalized the small project improvements agreement. But we could roll it into the improvements agreement. I mean, I'm sorry, into the stormwater agreement that they don't get any type of certificate of occupancy or anything until these
I think-
improvements are inspected.
As I recall, I think Dan put that massive note on that we require for small projects, which states that occupancy will not be granted unless everything's completed. Let me see. Nope, it's not on. So
Well,
we put that note on the,
I can incorporate that into a stormwater management agreement. I do that for some of our municipalities for what they call small projects.
okay, let's do that and then have a contingency and an inspection fee included.
Okay. So Dan, disregard what I said about the sample agreement. I'll get you another sample agreement to fill in the blanks with the plan information.
Okay. Do you need an escrow, an estimate for the escrow? Because I had come up with some value for what I thought needed to be. We can look at that and revise that if we have to.
Yeah, let's
think I
do
had
that,
like-
Dan.
What's that?
Let's do that.
Okay.
Okay, when you guys work out the numbers, send it over to me and I'll get a draft agreement together.
Any questions from the commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, this is Will. The house that's going to be demolished on Luzerne Street, I looked at the photograph of it. It appears to be perhaps late 19th or early 20th century construction. It's not of any significant architectural significance. It appears to be nondescript. But if there are any interior fixtures that are worth conserving, I would just ask the applicant please to contact the Artifacts Bank prior to demolition.
I've never been in the house, so I don't know, but I think it would be, my guess would be it's nondescript inside as it is outside, but I will check on that.
Thank you.
Sometimes you'll be surprised what you come out with. Somewhere on the side. Yeah. So that, that works for quite well. If there are no other comments, I will ask for a motion to grant conditional final approval for the Glacia Pentecostal Movimiento de Fe land development plan, subject to the applicant resolving all issues referenced within the review letter by Hawk Valley Associates dated September 19th, 2023, and completing the stormwater agreement as is to be directed.
Move.
Okay, thank you, Nelson. Second? Danny? Question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. We're getting close on this.
Thank you very much. And tomorrow night, just for your enlightenment, we're going to have a meeting with their finance committee and the banking. So they are ready to move ahead as soon as we can get this plan finished up.
That's great. Very good. Thank you, Dan. We appreciate your patience on this one.
Well, thank you. And thank you for your patience too.
Sorry. All right. And with that, we will move on to 755 Feasters Lane, minor land development plan. And I'll turn it over to Jerome for the introduction first time.
We've seen this plan before. It was under a different application, more so for a warehouse facility. However, that project did not go through. self-storage facility. This has changed. It was before the zoning hearing board before for certain relief, which does not apply to this project. Our review is now dated September 20th, 2023, and this project is for the 755 Easter's Lane project. It is 2.5 to 6 acres, not 2,526. It has an existing building on the site, which is 35,900 plus or minus square feet. It will be converted to a office slash warehouse use, which is somewhat similar to the previous use, and which is located within the MC zoning district and permitted by right. So therefore, there was no relief that was necessary for this project to proceed. In regards to the HOP, as you recall, we had a variety of discussions with the previous applicant on the HOP, since there may or may not have one that existed along Easter's Lane. So we had asked that a note be provided on the plan that the applicant shall be responsible for obtaining and or maintaining an HOP at that site. The curbs and sidewalks on the property are generally in fair to good condition. The applicant will need to ensure that the fire and rescue department is in agreement with this project. There was landscaping that was completed in the past and as part of this project, and I just wanted to make sure that Public Works was okay with that. I did not hear back from from Lester at this point, but it's I think that what they have out there probably is going to be satisfactory. If not, then we could address that issue separately. We do have a lighting constraint or lighting limits that the property be dimmed between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. As far as sanitary sewage is concerned, we had asked that the applicant provide the desktop analysis of what was previously there versus what is going to be there, and it should be a balance considering the types of uses. But we want to make sure that applicant is proposing some signs that are in right now with the zoning office. So we had asked for our standard note, as well as this is with the large note we put on plans that do not require a municipal improvements agreement, that we make sure it's a cover-all for just about any scenario with respects to the site improvements. The Berks County Planning Commission did review this plan, and we got a copy of that today. Other than that, everything looks good to go. So this project is a change of use that appears to be acceptable.
Yeah, no, in case the board has any questions, obviously John Alford, representing Ability Motion. And at this point in time, currently, as I understand, they've already moved in. I mean, they're utilizing this property as a business. All connections are there. The fire connection, the speed bulkhead in which they connect has already been installed into this building. So, as Jerome said, a lot of these features exist other than the change in use and the revamping of the entire parking lot. They have resurfaced it and relined it, and our plan is basically an as-built of that condition. So we agree with the Hawk Valley review letter dated September 20th and are willing to comply with said letter. And we're respectfully requesting the Planning Commission a conditional final plan approval subject to that letter and proof that in fact we've addressed all of his concerns. In fact, I already took the liberty today to send out an email to Jerome et al., basically outlining what we did with a response in writing. We actually produced the PennDOT permit from PennDOT. It dates back to May of 1981. It was for a low volume driveway, which allows up to 750 car trips a day. We will not be near that load. We also have a letter of
I call it the DEP letter. It's a water or sewage flow letter from System Design Engineering, outlining that we are actually, with our staff in this particular building, we have a less use or consumption of water than the prior uses. So therefore, there'll be no need for DEP involvement at all relative to the planning process. So at this point in time, I still respectfully request additional approval. And that's why I'm here, in case you have any additional questions.
Just out of curiosity, I guess you could say. And you might not know this, Joe. Are they completely moving out of their current place on Fifth Street
Eventually,
eventually?
there will be a transfer to this building. Okay, yes.
I don't know if that might be significant to them.
In terms of the parking spaces, they got way more than they need.
We have over 100 parking spaces, and when you kind of look at the facility today, driving by, even in the middle of the day, you might notice maybe 20 cars. Maybe.
And
so,
that's something our zoning amendments that we have proposed. It's not gonna be nearly that amount. So.
Right. Okay. Do you have anything on this one, Tim?
Yeah, I think, was that John? Is that you who were talking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe, John, you were saying you did recover an HOP for the low volume driveway. Was that provided? Because I know it was a comment on the review letter, on Jerome's review letter, along with the planning module.
From PennDOT, they actually scanned it and sent it to me from Allentown 50 District Headquarters.
Okay.
And I emailed Jerome a copy of that letter. I believe you were copied in on that email as well. My letter, the revised plan, the HOP is issued in May 20th, 1981, and the system design water flow consumption report dated June of this year. Those are the 4 items that I emailed today.
We were under the assumption, Tim, that there was no PennDOT HOP. For the simple reason that the previous applicant attempted to find it and was
Right.
not successful.
Yeah, I don't know how well they attempted it, but yeah, I think that's correct. I remember that from the storage land development application, storage facility.
They were not really represented by an engineer.
Yeah, right. Good. Well, then, yeah, I'll need to take a look. I haven't had a chance to review that, but I trust that you sent it, and I'll check my emails for that.
Thank you.
While I'm talking, there's one other thing, and I didn't have a chance to really look at it closely, but this was an issue with the last submission. There's access to the street, Heaster's Lane. There was also access to the adjoining property from the driveway, from the parking lot. Is that still part of the plan, John? Are there still going to be those existing access to the adjoining property?
There's no actual written cross easement that exists relative to the abilities in motion traveling in a most easterly direction over
Yes.
to that driveway that goes back to the bowling alley.
Right.
That existed as an available access. However, there is no written easement that we could find during our search of the property. So our main access is directly in the center of the property that goes towards the center of the building. And as stated in the original HOP, for a low volume driveway.
And cars would be available then to go back and forth across, from the one lot to the other lot. If they're doing that and they go across, to the adjoining lot, is that considered trespassing if we don't have a cross easement? I mean, on other ones, and I'm really kind of speaking out of term here. This is more of a planning and a zoning thing, I think, because it's off the right of way. But I know in other plans, we've had this type of, a mutual agreement, some sort of written notice that we can share that access across the properties.
I'm unaware of anything else other than it's not in writing that we can determine.
And as John
Yeah.
mentioned, they really don't,
They what now, Jerome?
they really don't need it. It's just
Okay.
there.
Okay, I mean, if they don't need it, they don't need it. I just remember that being a topic of discussion on the last one.
Yeah, that's because of, there was, ingress and egress with the self-storage facility that they wanted to control it with a gate.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There was a gate. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And most traffic would have come off of the Newbury property with that plan. Yeah, and that's.
Jerome, do you know if Lester got a request to comment on the trees?
He may have done it this afternoon. I did not see it, but
Okay. Again,
the existing trees are still in good shape.
yeah, right, yeah, and I agreed with everything else you said on your letter. Yeah, I think that's fine. And
Three.
Yeah.
We have 5 additional trees that are planted already. They're very small in nature, probably 2-inch in caliber.
Yeah.
And as far as the other area along our frontage, I talked to the owners of Abilities in Motion. They do not wish to plant additional plantings in there only because there's a buried underground electric line that serves the light poles, as well as the storm sewer pipe, sanitary sewer, and the water lateral service that services the building. So because of the limited area in which we could plant trees, they're desirous of not planting any additional trees at this time.
okay, that's all the comments I have.
Yeah, as long as Lester didn't say that they were invasive trees or
Mhm.
something along that line, but I think he would have said that before. So I think we're good.
Sounds good.
Alright. Here, anything from the commissioners on this one? Emily?
Just worth commenting, going back about access, it's not going to be a zoning issue, it's gonna be a civil matter between property owners. I just wanted to make a mention, they were given, certificates of occupancy from the Building and Trades Department, however, their zoning permit is still pending the recordation of this plan, so just so you are aware, we had, a couple contractors give me not so nice phone calls because we weren't releasing their zoning permits. And so just so you are aware and make all of your contractors aware, any pending zoning permits will not be approved until this plan is recorded.
That includes the sign.
That include, yeah, that includes the sign, because so for everyone's knowledge, whenever we receive a signage permit, if the associated use hasn't been approved yet, the sign permit is on hold. Once the use is approved, we'll approve the sign. So, and then we can't, for this in particular, we won't approve the use until the plan is recorded. So just so you're aware of how everything is going to kind of flow. Okay.
So, the Abilities in Motion and the Olson Design Group are aware of those.
Okay.
facts.
It wasn't any, it wasn't those two, I will say that. But just everyone, and then now you know how we do our permits.
All right, anything else on this plan?
Was just reinstalled. Yeah. Apparently what they did was they ripped out the old concrete, and the actual apron going down onto Easter's Lane is virtually new.
Yeah, that's
That's not that one.
that's a year and a half old picture.
Yeah.
No, that's very questionable.
It even shows the trees as being even younger.
Yeah.
I do site visits on the bigger projects just to make sure we got this one in.
Very good. With that, do I hear a motion to grant conditional preliminary final plan approval for the 755 Easter's Lane minor development plan, subject to the applicant resolving all issues referenced and the review letter by Hawk Valley Associates dated September 20th, 2023. Dan?
I'll move it.
Will? Question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Very good.
Thank you all very much.
Sure. Okay, thank you, John. As always, a pleasure.
It's nice to see this building finally be developed. Like I said, the last time we tried to review a plan for this.
Has anything he wants to mention under old business, project updates, et cetera?
Not this time.
Okay.
We'll put, be, sending out, progress reports on the projects that have been previously approved, and that way we can track them, but, we're still trying to catch our breath.
Oh, yeah. I mean, whenever, as we all know, whenever you lose someone on your team, it takes a little while.
Yeah.
Catch up. So, okay. Next, we have the active plans requiring reaffirmation approval.
Yes. Okay, the first one is the Lichty's Mennonite Church Land Development Plan. This plan was previously approved by the Planning Commission, subject to conditions in which the applicant would like to resolve as soon as possible. He has submitted a revised plan in which I have passed around to all the departments to make sure that they are in agreement with this project. Michelle, and Tim, this will require a municipal improvements agreement as well as a stormwater management maintenance agreement. But what they need here today is a reaffirmation of approval so that they could complete everything and record it.
Very good. Do I hear a motion to approve the reaffirmation? Peter?
Second.
And Nelson? Question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Next.
Next one is the First Energy Stadium, in which they revised the plan to resolve certain issues or expand or make modifications to the proposed building. So, as I mentioned, the plan was previously approved, and this is for the again, the First Energy Stadium. Yeah, we have nothing further on that, so it's they're looking to get everything in order so that they can record their plan as well.
Okay, motion? Danny? Second? Peter? Question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next one is the Goggle Works annexation plan. Not sure what the reason being for the timing, but they ran out of time to record the plan. They did submit the deeds and everything else that was necessary to consolidate all the parcels. So they just need to bring the plan in for signatures, but they ran out of time, so they'll need reaffirmation.
Okay. So this is for the Goggle Works annexation. Motion?
So
Peter?
move.
Nelson? Question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next.
Next one is for 531 Upland Avenue. This was a plan that was previously approved for a residential apartment building. The plan was previously approved, and also had, municipal improvements agreement attached, as well as a stormwater management attached, and ironically, they would like to start on the project immediately now, but they they will require the reaffirmation to give them some time to record the plan.
Okay, motion? Peter, second? Danny? Okay, question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 And finally is the Albright College Gingrich Library, which is doing expansion and modifications and for the facility and the area around it. So this project basically ran out of time prior to recording as well. There was a municipal improvements agreement and stormwater management maintenance agreement as well attached to it. So this is enabling them additional time to record the plan.
Motion? Danny?
So move.
Nelson? Question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I will mention that Albright actually held the groundbreaking ceremony over the weekend for this project.
And they got it fenced off. It's just a matter of get in there.
Okay, next up, active plans requiring time extensions.
Okay, the first one we have is the Holy Trinity Church. This is the land development plan located at 1541 Montgomery Street. As you know, that this project had just about required just about every single thing you could possibly imagine. So they're still working on the final hoops and hurdles. This will require stormwater management plan, as well as a municipal improvements agreement, which we've all gotten copies of and had provided comments. So this is enabling them the ability to finalize everything with the time extension through March 25th, 2024.
Okay, do I hear a motion to, for a time extension until February 25th, 2024?
March.
March.
On the, Holy Trinity Church, plan. March, yeah. Yeah, wrote that February. There we go. Okay, motion? Peter, second? Danny? Question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the last one.
Okay, the last one is for the Wawa Store 153, their final land development plan, which was submitted. As you recall, this one had the soil contamination in which they need to remediate and resolve. They had, Michelle, you might want to help us out with this one. They said, we are requesting an extension until January 2024. They didn't put a date, but I just noticed they didn't put a number of which date in January.
Let me unmute myself. I would use the January PC meeting.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody has that date available.
We're getting it.
Before, was it the fourth Tuesday?
Fourth Tuesday, yeah.
The 23rd.
Yeah, we haven't set our calendar yet, of course, but that's our standard, so we could word it that way for now.
Very good. Okay, do I hear a motion to grant a time extension to Wawa store number 153 until January 23rd, 2024?
So move.
Nelson? Second. Peter? Question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Very good.
I did get, copies for reaffirmations for Burn Street Car Wash and Burn Street Storage, but they didn't need it.
Yeah, we did receive those, I don't know. I don't have, I didn't look into it. I don't know if you want to reaffirm it, but I don't know.
Let's do it, because it's gonna give us more time than to consider it, it's what's not gonna fall through the cracks.
Yeah, makes sense, especially with everything that hinging on this one.
The first one would be the Burn Street Car Wash, which was lot one of the development. This plan did require a stormwater management improvements agreement as well as a municipal improvements agreement, which they were going to do all at once. They are requesting the plan reaffirmation until March 25th, 2024. Michelle, is that going to be a problem?
A problem as to,
We typically give it as 90 days, but they're asking for a specific date.
I think the other one we just did was till March of 2024.
That was a time extension for review. This will be for reaffirmation.
Oh, yeah. Reaffirmation doesn't particularly need a date. It's just the plan has to show when it was approved, when it gets recorded with the county. So I would just grant the reaffirmation of the plan without a date. But I think you need to amend the agenda to include them.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they're not on the agenda.
So,
And the reason why we're putting this on the agenda was on our notes, it was not reflected as we need this. These are up for extensions. They had submitted it, and we basically could not find any record that it definitely requires it.
So, do I hear a motion to amend the agenda to include the Burn Street Car Wash and the 6th Street storage?
Burn Street Storage.
It's also Burn Street. The Burn Street storage facility as presented. Yeah.
We might as well have them on the agenda every meeting. It seems like it's every month.
They've had a few.
Okay, I have a motion from Danny. Do I hear a second? Peter? Question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Now it's the reaffirmation of the car wash lot one.
Okay, do I hear a motion to reaffirm the approval of the Burn Street Car Wash Lot 1? Peter? Second? Danny? Question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And,
Burn Street Storage Lot 2.
and now do I hear a motion to, for the reaffirmation of the plan for the Burn Street Storage Lot number 2?
I
So
think we have to add that to the agenda too, did we?
Okay.
Consistency.
Yeah, we added both of them already.
At the same time? Okay, good. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, motion? Danny?
So move.
Second? Nelson? Okay, question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, there we go. Okay, next up, the room has an update on our phase 2 amendments.
Yes, I just sent them to you by email, so we can have them for discussion at our workshop session. We're also working directly with the Reading Parking Authority on the parking amendments as well. So we're working together, and I can give you the updates on that as they occur. So yeah, we look forward to getting any comments you have.
And I will note that I have not had a chance to get in touch with Nathan yet about some other concerns. So, but I do have it on my to-do list. I think tomorrow, I have to wait for FedEx tomorrow morning in the office. Okay, any announcements, reports, or other planning commission business? Here.
Mr. Chairman,
Nelson,
yeah, we can hear what Peter is saying. At least I can't.
I can't.
Peter said that the blighted property review committee did meet. However, they did not have a quorum, so they conducted no business.
And just an FYI, there was an ordinance introduced last night reducing the number to 5 to hopefully address the quorum issue going forward.
Okay, good to know. Very good.
Mr. Chairman, this is Will. I think usually we say something about the workshop. I thought that was very successful. Having the presentations in there, and I like some of the ideas that I have a few too going forward. Maybe we should do one at a time, but I thought it was very informative and helpful both for planning, subdivision and land development planning, but also for our comprehensive plan obligation as well. So I definitely thought that was worthwhile.
Yeah, I felt the same way. And Danny mentioned it at the end of the meeting that was very informative, and so yeah, we're looking forward to doing something like that again.
So we'll come up with our next 2 guests, and we'll have them on the agenda as well.
Great. Okay.
If anyone has any recommendations that they would like to hear, then there's a lot of things. I mean, so
yeah, I forget the 2.
we got
I
lots.
didn't bring that along.
Well, if anyone thinks of anything, just share it with a group. And if I don't hear back from anyone within the next week or so, then I'll put some ideas out.
All right, sounds good. Okay, anything else?
Yeah, I have one question for Jerome. I see we've got some correspondence on Exeter Hall, and the final plan inspection report is due up next month.
Yes.
We need to coordinate, Jerome, on final reports. Per ordinance, that needs to come from the Public Works. So did you want to schedule sometime here? Have you done the final inspection, or are you planning on doing that?
Planning on doing that.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to make sure all the departments were aware of that at
Yes.
this stage, so they can take a look at their respective things. But Tim, it might make sense that you and I do the site inspection together with a representative from the contractor.
Yes, I agree. So I'm off on vacation the second week of October. So I'm not sure how that works in with the schedule you were contemplating. I think you were saying by 10/11. So maybe that would be the first week of October.
Yeah, we can meet next week sometime.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's correspond on that later. Maybe tomorrow. Come up with a good date, and then yeah, we can coordinate that. Thank you.
Yeah, one other thing, I saw that Albright College had installed at least one of the electric vehicle charging stations. I saw one on College Avenue. I do not know if they've installed any of the other ones, and I don't know if they gave us a list or a map of where they intend to place them, or if indeed they have or not. And that might be something useful to have. We don't need a presentation necessarily, just some document. I don't know if Public Works needs any of that, but I think the city should have that information, and I think it'd be good for us and the public to know at least, so.
Yeah, that would have
That's
been
all.
nice if they had provided it, but they did not. And there's no real permit for that. I mean, there's
Right.
nothing in the ordinance that addresses it, but it would have been nice if they would have provided us something that they had
Yeah.
located. And and you're right, Will, they located that those charging stations in the public right of way, not on their property. So yeah, that would have been helpful. I mean, we're glad they're there, but we should
Yeah.
be coordinating that. You're right.
Thank you.
I heard they were supposed to go in the parking lot by the Performing Arts Center, not on.
That's what I thought, yeah. So I was surprised to see it. I thought it was good, but then it brought that question to mind that Public Works, might have a concern, or at least want to know about it. But thank you.
Do we have any minutes to review?
Yes, I will be sending them out, but we do have the draft April, May, June, July, and August meeting minutes. We would let Brandy out without them.
Boy,
We don't know what they all say yet, but they say something.
talk about the ultimate torture for letting her go.
So, yeah, we have the drafts, and I was going to make that announcement tonight, and then we could, just so you know, they're in draft format.
So they're gonna come one tranche to us here, and we're gonna.
We can send them one a day.
You want one a day, or well, I'm sending them all.
Here's your
once.
morning reading for the day.
That's a good idea. Wake up. call.
Just some light reading with your coffee.
Yeah, some light with your newspaper, which of course I read online now, so it's not like. Okay, our next meeting will be the October 17th workshop meeting. So if anyone does have a suggestion of who to invite, we can invite one person, and then second half we'll deal with these zoning amendments.
Okay.
And the regularly scheduled meeting is for October 24th, 2023. And that will be our voting meeting.
And Mr.
Okay.
Chairman,
Yep.
I'm sorry. Due to an unavoidable conflict, Chris Hartman will be joining you at the regular meeting on October 24th.
Okay. We look forward to seeing Chris. Anything else for today's meeting? Very good. We will once again try to get this room fixed.
Okay.
So that it's a little better, so I don't have to be shouting all the time. And here, do I hear a motion to adjourn? Yeah. Peter? Second? Danny? We're, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, very good. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Only
Thank
an
you.
hour.
See, Brandy did all that yapping.
Have a good night.
Go Phillies.
Yeah.